It's about 4 o'clock on Sunday night, Sunday afternoon, but it's raining, so it's dark. We just lost power about an hour ago. Unfortunately, when we lose power, I better be home because I have to close this valve for each tank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for all 10 tanks. Otherwise they're gonna drain into the sumps. They don't have enough, I don't have enough volume here to contain all the water, so the water, if I don't shut off the drain valves, the water will overflow on the floor. The way we're running, that's why one reason I don't like this system is the way I'm running this these tanks is better light right here. So we have one way in and one way out on the bottom. So this is 2,500 gallons an hour coming in, 25,000 gallons an hour draining all along there, along the filter. Then the pipe comes up right here, the first shut-off valve. And then this partial siphon thing, so that the tanks don't drain all the way to till they dry. So there's about half of the water left in the tank. That's the reason for having this half-standing pipe, sort of. The siphon is regulated by this hole. The smaller the hole, the stronger the siphon, the lower the level in the tank. And then, as I said, this is the pipe, another shut-off valve, and it drains into the filter. Travels all the way back. The pump is on the other side, it picks it up, pushes it back into the tank. All right. So this is how we run it. So once again, once the power is off, I mean, I could buy the automatic valves that shut off the water when the pump is off, when the power goes out, but they're very expensive and they're not 100% reliable either. All right, so we're running the 10 240 gallon tanks as usual. That's 5 360 watt pumps for all of them. One pump runs 2 tanks. So we're running the 1800 gallon on one pump and one pump here in the less aggressive 4500, and one pump out of the 4 here in the jumbo. I already know what happened. I spoke with the FPL guys, Florida Power and Light. A tree or whatever, a branch probably burned off a wire somewhere along the line. We're gonna go up there and investigate. I'll show you what happened. We often have it happen here. It's kind of a silly system where anyway, it's too noisy here. I'll tell you about it when we're outside. Let's go take a look at the Let's go take a look at the 25,000. For now I set up only one generator. They told me that we're not gonna have power for about 2-3 hours. That's why I only turned on minimum pumps, and I'm not running any pumps in this 25,000. I'm hoping that will be fine for just this time. It's a large surface. area in this tank. So this guy, and that's not heavily populated tank. So I'm hoping they will get by. Also, I don't have enough gasoline. I need to go get some gasoline for the generators. All right, let's go outside and see what caused our power outage. The hell machine. And the 1800 gallon set up the same way. These are 1800 gallon, 2 bottom drains, and these 2 are the bottom drains for the 4500 gallon each. And these are overflow, 1 per each 4500 gallon. So once again, when the power cuts out, anywhere from half to 3/4 of the water leaves the tanks, which is pretty dangerous way of running it. We pretty much are asking for it. We've been lucky for the last 12 years that every time we lost power we were home. Which was probably at least a dozen of times. But sooner or later we may run out of this luck, and I need to automate. The system so that it sends me notifications when the power is out, and install shut-off valves or backup pumps or backup bubblers to avoid a completed not complete, but to avoid a very significant loss of fish and water, which can happen. Okay, let's go outside and see what's happening. All right, it shouldn't be too far away. Got our bike and go check it out. The rain just stopped, thank goodness. We're sitting here pretty low, so the water is everywhere. 90% of our 9 acres are underwater for at least several months. Some of it is underwater for 6 months out of the year, because this used to be a swamp pretty much, so it was never raised. The grade was never raised to be higher. But anyhow, I'm hoping we're gonna go and catch the FPL guys working. They already been here. They checked out all the wiring all the way to our house. We are the last house on the road. Dead end. It was raining real hard just 15 minutes ago. Will probably rain again. Okay, I don't see them working on our street. Our street is not that long, about 4/10 of a mile. As you can see, our neighbors are also flooded, not as badly as we are. We're the lowest on the street. It's getting a little higher here on the street, but there's a lot of water everywhere. And this is a single lane private road. We have to maintain it and pave it at our own expense and everything. live kind of on the edge of the Everglades. Very close to it, the Big Cypress Preserve, Picayune Strand Forest. That's our area. Both of these are pretty much Everglades, or maybe even a part of the Everglades National Park overall. Alright, that stop sign is the end of our street. As I said, we're a dead-end street, we're the last ones on the street. Our neighbors, some of them have cows, horses. Our Morgan Road meets Sable Palm Street. Okay, I see the FPL truck. I don't know where he's going. Let's check it out. I thought it was down Sable Palm that way, but I don't see anything there. Okay, let me follow the truck and see where he's going. I'm gonna ask him what's happening. Yep, it's right here. I missed it. You can see the wire down. The top wire is the 14,000 volt. And that's the one that broke off between this pole and the pole on the Sable Palm Street. It's completely either burned in half or disengaged. It looks like it was disengaged for some reason, which means something along the power line might have shorted it that other way towards our house. As I started saying, this is kind of stupid of the Florida power companies to let people plant trees and have growth right by the power lines. I mean, it's like a 7-foot easement or something, but there's still plenty of trees in the easement. So every now and then they have to bring trucks and cut off the branches before they short out the power again. Alright, so I started saying, you see these pine trees, pines, palms, cypress and oak trees encroaching on the wires almost all the way down. So every now and then they have to come and trim them, but they grow back very quickly. They only trim what's within like 5 or 7 feet of the wire, which, you know, to grow that fast for a palm tree, it could be months or weeks. For other trees it could be a year. For example, I know in Georgia you cannot plant anything and there is no growth within 20 feet of the power wires on either side, I think. So that's makes sense. In Florida they don't bury them, or don't bury them much, at least in our neck of the woods. So they all expose, I mean, they're all hung up on the power poles. They're not in the ground, and that makes them vulnerable to outages. I mean, they have transformers right now that can handle when a branch touches the hot wire several times. I mean, it can burn. The transformer electronics is such that the wire can handle it, and the branch burns off. But every now and then it burns off the wire still. So we lose power, as I said, usually couple hours, a couple of times a year. Okay, here come our crews to fix the downed wire that we were waiting for. 2 trucks. So that's what I was telling you about. That wire that goes from, this is our street, that wire that goes from up there towards our neighbors. You can see that it broke. You can see how much vegetation it has to go through all the way there. I don't know which house is this house or the one next to it, but this is, I mean, this is ridiculous. This is very heavily, densely planted. There's trees all over the place, and that wire, that's wavy thing that hanging down, that's the one that broke. And the workers just told me that this is what caused that main wire at the intersection to break. It's another wonderful spot. 3 royal palms, what, like 6 feet away from the wires. The top wire is 14,000 volt, as you can see, right below the palm fronds. So when they're dying off and falling on that hot wire, it's arcing and the power goes on and off, and then quite a few times these palm trees cause it to go out, and there's nothing you can do about it. See, that sable palm is right next to it, and all this growth is threatening these wires all along this stretch. This is where the power lines take a turn to go towards our house. So they go all the way from all along Morgan Road right here, and they take a 90-degree turn and go towards our house and our neighbors. You can see again how densely grown it is on the right hand side from the wires. There's Malayuca trees and pines, palms very close to it. So quite often it overgrows and then starts hitting the upper wire, and we lose electricity. For the first, I don't know, like 7 years we've been here, we've been asking and fighting with Florida Power and Life to replace this pole, the one that's leaning badly. So this used to be our pole that was leaning and leaning, because this run between this pole and the next pole was way over there. It's way too long. Against the code, kind of a distance between the poles, so they had to install another pole in between. It took us a long time to get them to do that, so they replaced this one with the new one to the left, put the next one in, and etc., and put another one there too. Yep, and this line that runs towards us right here, it also, there's plenty of trees on this side, but at least, I mean, here my neighbor and I would trim them ourselves, more or less proactively. We never had any problems in our section. We all have problems in this section that runs along Morgan Road. Alright, we got power. 4.5 hours. The 25,000 didn't have any flow. Getting the flow. Everybody seems to survive okay. I was afraid they're gonna start gasping for air, but they did fine. So that should work for the future reference. Now I need to turn the pumps on for the 240s and the 4500 and 1800. Okay. Turn on the fans. The cooling fans. I'm going to replug the 240s from the generator into the plugs. The lights back on. The water's a little murky from all the commotion. The 4500s are running on one single pump, as you can see. 4 pipes, only one is working. Same here. So I need to open the valves and turn on the pump, 3 more pumps for each of them. These are the 4-inch valves for the 4500s. Okay, we're gonna replug all the pumps from the generator and the ones that have been turned off back into the receptacles. Okay, next one up is the pump house with our row system. Oh, why is this one off? Oh, I see, okay. Alright, one. The well pump. Good. The booster pumps. And the house pump right here. Good, looks like we're back up running. Okay, so we're back up and running. That was an 5-hour ordeal or so. I still need to walk around and make sure the level is restored to their normal. And other things, the power head, the levels in the sump, filters. I need to check it all out and make sure everything's fine. and all the water changes and whatnot. That's the water change. Okay. We'll call it a survival.